So a bit of a snafu today. I pulled the battery box and toolboxes off in order to get a little bit better access to install the single fire coil. But I found that when whoever the rocket scientist that had installed the electronic ignition box, there was no wire for the negative side of the coil, and there was no wire to travel to the points. So I got out my knife and I cut into the wiring harness, and first of all I can see that they've done a lot of chopping. And what they've got here, these are the two wires that are supposed to go to either side of the coil. So what they've done is they've put the two together, basically creating a direct short. And then on the switch for power, the two wires for the switch for power, the one that is supposed to come back and go to the points, they've spliced it into this wire, which is a main power wire, switched from the ignition. Again, creating another dead short. So what they did was they had the electronic ignition, the Boyer electronic ignition, wired up direct to the battery. And so in other words, it had power all the time, which is okay, because luckily the Boyer, I did some research, and the Boyer electronic ignition, they had it hooked up direct to the battery, and it has a safety feature. It must be turning in order to pass power. In other words, when the engine isn't turning off for safety, it shuts down automatically. So that is the only thing that kept the battery from draining. And by doing it, they were actually running the circuit in reverse. They had the positive to the negative and vice versa. It worked, it fired, but oh my God, what a mess. So tomorrow I got to break out the soldering iron, and I'll patch in a wire from here to the points, and I'll put these two wires, I'll separate them and put them one on each side of the coil like they're supposed to be, and then I'll put it all back together, tape everything up nice and neat, and it should be able to run. But there you go. That's what happens when you let idiots work on your bike.